Hello my dear students. We are going to learn now in the today's session viruses, viroids and lichens. Already in the last video I have explained about the some of the topics of this, and let me briefly recap that points. In the biological classification we have to study the five kingdom classification brought by R.H. Whittaker, and I told you this viroid, these were not included in the five kingdom classification. Why it was not included, why it is kept separated from the five kingdom classification? Reason was that it was not truly living. Okay, so virus is not truly living. Why it is not truly living? It is a non-cellular form. Virus is a non-cellular form because if it has a proper cell, then only we can include in any category. So this virus do not have a cell and they are metabolically inactive outside the host body. They are dormant itself. They are cannot do anything. Once they enter into the host body or host cell, they take up the machinery of the host cell and start to replicate, and then start to infect that animal or a plant and chemically. So that's why it is you can also call it as a obligate parasite. They are inert crystalline structure outside. Once they infect the host body, they take up the machinery of the host cell and then they start to multiply there. So let us understand about the virus in detail now. Okay, now already in the last video I have told some of the scientists' name who has brought some of the discoveries, who made some inventions in the field of this virology. So virology, you know that the branch which deals with the study of virus, and virus is an early infectious agent which causes many disease. So this virus is also named as a poisonous fluid. Who named this as a poisonous fluid? So virus, it is means venom or poisonous fluid. You know about the venom. You know about the venom of snake and all. So like that. So here this also a poisonous fluid. So this term, this explanation, this meaning is brought by, his name is D.J. Ivanovsky. Here sometimes in some book it will be V will be there, in some book W also there. So if you write both also fine. So it is D.J. Ivanovsky has termed that virus as a venom or poisonous fluid. In which year he stated that? In the year 1892. In year 1892, this virus is termed this as a poisonous fluid or venom. He also discovered the TME virus. So another invention of this D.J. Ivanovsky is that he also discovered, what is that? TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. We are going to learn in detail about that again. So these two contribution is by this scientist, that is D.J. Ivanovsky. Then next scientist who made some observation on this virus, and he also stated that viruses are smaller than bacteria. So second statement, the second observation study made on virus is that viruses are smaller than bacteria. Who made this statement? It is made by, you may be thinking, ma'am has already taught these points, and again why she is writing. I just want to compare their scientist's name and you have to remember that. So for that purpose I am writing it again. So virus is smaller than bacteria. It is made by W.M. Stanley. And you know in which year he did this? It is after 6 years. You should remember like that. That is in the year 1898. In the year 1898, he stated that W.M. Stanley stated that viruses are smaller than bacteria, and I told in the last video why it is smaller than bacteria, because it is passed through the bacteria filters. Okay, he understood that it can pass through the bacteria filters. Then, here there is a change is there. So viruses are smaller than bacteria. It is brought by M.W. Beijerinck. Here is there is a M.W.W.M. is there, so it gets confused. So it is M.W. Beijerinck stated that viruses are smaller than bacteria, and he termed it as contagium vivum fluidum. Question used to come, who stated that contagium, the term contagium vivum fluid, meaning is that the fluid, the fluid which is extracted from this tobacco mosaic virus are also infectious. They can also cause disease on healthy plant. That's what the meaning of contagium vivum fluidum. So contagium vivum fluidum is proposed by M.W. Beijerinck. He stated that, that from the tobacco mosaic virus, was discovered by D.J. Ivanovsky. So from that plant, when that infected plant part is made into extract, in the form of extract, any part of that plant which is got infected from that virus, that when made into extract, and that extract when it is come in contact with the healthy plant, that also cause diseases. So that's why that fluid is named as contagium, which is can be spreading. Vivum fluidum, that poisonous fluid. So that is what the statement means. Now, the third scientist who comes under this field of virology is W.M. Stanley. So what he has stated, what is a statement or what is observation made by M.W. Stanley? He stated that virus can be crystallized. He stated that virus can be crystallized. So he understood that, he discovered that virus could be crystallized, and crystals consist largely of proteins. Virus can be crystallized, and crystals largely contains of proteins. So this is a observation made by different scientists. Okay, let us move on to the next topic now. So next we have to understand now, we have to study the structure of tobacco mosaic virus, bacteriophage and all. So here I brought this again because must not confuse with this. Now in which here W.M. Stanley has brought his idea, it is in year 1953. Okay, so in 1892, then 1898, 1953, first is D.J. Ivanovsky discovered TMV, W.M. Beijerinck, the smaller than bacteria, and W.M. Stanley has proposed that virus can be crystallized and these crystals are largely contains proteins. Then contagium vivum fluidum was proposed by M.W. Beijerinck. So let us move on to the structure of tobacco mosaic virus. And structure of virus, let me complete first. So structure of virus. A virus is a nucleoprotein particle. Virus is a nucleoprotein particle. Okay. So virus structure. Usually a virus is a nucleoprotein particle which consists of two parts in it. Okay, so it has two parts in it. One is it has a nucleic acid, and second part it has a protein coat. So this is generally a virus will have it is a nucleoprotein particle, will have a nucleic acid and will have a protein coat. And this nucleic acid, you know that what are the nucleic acids? They are the RNA and DNA, right? So they may have RNA or DNA, but not both. It never both. That means they have either RNA or DNA as their genetic material, but never both. Both of them will not exist together. Either they may have one nucleic acid, RNA or DNA. RNA means what? It's a ribonucleic acid. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. But any virus will not have the two nucleic acid together in it. Now, fourth point regarding the structure of virus is that the virus which infects the plant will have single-stranded RNA, whereas virus which infect the animal will have the double-stranded DNA or double-stranded, yes, it is a plant which will have virus which infects the plant will have a double-stranded DNA, and those infects the plants will have a single-stranded RNA. And one more thing is that they will have double-stranded RNA or double-stranded DNA. Yes, correct. So this is what the some structure of virus. Usually these are the structures we can see. It has two major part in it. One is nucleic acid and protein coat. Nucleic acid can be either RNA or DNA, never both. So virus which infect the plant will have a single-stranded RNA. The virus which infects the animal will have the double-stranded DNA or double-stranded RNA. So from this, we can understand that a virus is a simple molecule, a very small, minute organism which cannot be seen with our eyes, which needs an electron microscope and all, and which is highly infectious, can cause disease among plants as well as animals. So let us study the structure of tobacco mosaic virus now. Structure of tobacco mosaic virus. Please learn this topic clearly because it's important. It can be asked for the exam as well as. First, let us understand the structure, right? So, this tobacco mosaic virus, it's a cylindrical like structure having a protein coat and there is a genetic material. So, genetic material is completely made up of RNA. Tobacco mosaic virus is a virus which infects the plant, no? So it is made up of RNA. So it is a long cylindrical shaped structure. So this is the RNA which is present at the core of this molecule, and there is a protein coat is there. Okay, so protein coat is surrounds this nucleic acid. So all over that, so these units, each unit is called as capsomere. Together it is called as capsid. Each unit is called as capsomere and together it is called as capsid. So this is the structure of tobacco mosaic virus having a protein coat enclosing the genetic material. So what is the genetic material made up of here? It is RNA. And tobacco mosaic virus which infects the tobacco plant which is discovered by D.J. Ivanovsky in the year 1892. This I just drawn to get the shape of that virus. Okay. Now one more thing. Here you have two diagrams are there in your textbook. If you refer the page number, yes, it's in the page number 25. Here there is a two structures are there. One is TMV, another is bacteriophage. Students have the habit of confusing with the TMV and bacteriophage. If the question comes to draw the bacteriophage, they'll draw the tobacco mosaic virus and keep. So don't confuse like that. Tobacco mosaic virus means this only should come. Bacteriophage means which looks like a tadpole-like structure. Okay, so this labeling is, it consists of a RNA, genetic material is RNA, and these units are called as capsid, and each unit is called as capsomeres, and its structure is, it's a long cylindrical rod shaped structure, and it consists of two parts, which is one is capsid, another part is RNA. And capsid, it is a protein coat which encloses this nucleic acid, and each units are called as, it is called as capsomeres. Remember that. So many capsomeres surround this nucleic acid, and these capsomeres are arranged in the helical or polyhedral geometric forms. They are arranged in the polyhedral geometric forms. These capsomeres are arranged in the polyhedral geometric forms helically around the nucleic acid RNA. Then genetic information is completely stored in this RNA, and this RNA is single-stranded RNA. So if the question comes to explain the structure of tobacco mosaic virus, so tobacco mosaic virus is a virus which infects the tobacco plant, and it was first discovered by D.J. Ivanovsky. And here this it is a long cylindrical structure, right? Long cylindrical rod shaped structure consists of two parts, RNA and capsid. The RNA is a genetic material which is made up of single-stranded RNA, and this nucleic acid, the genetic material, is enclosed by a protein coat called as capsid, and each units are called as capsomeres. Now let me explain about the bacteriophage. Okay, so we will study about the bacteriophage. So bacteriophage structure looks like a tadpole. Now what is a bacteriophage? What is a bacteriophage? You can see there is a bacteria is there, phage is there, right? So here the virus which infect bacteria, okay, is called as bacteriophage. Virus which infect bacteria are called as bacteriophage. Okay, that also causes infectious diseases. Okay, that also causes, bacteriophage also responsible for causing some of the diseases. So let me draw the diagram of structure of bacteriophage. So structurally it looks like a tadpole, right? It looks like a tadpole because it have a head region, then there is a collar having the then there is a hexagonal plate is there. So it is a, so must draw along with me. Okay, so here is a, this part is called as head, which have a collar like this. Below this it have these structures, okay, and below there is a hexagonal plate is there, Okay, so that hexagonal plate has a tail fiber in it. You can draw it as smaller so it looks better. Then below there is a hexagonal plate is there. Then along with that it has a tail fibers. Remember there is a 6 tail fibers should be there, and this tail fiber at the tip it has a enzyme, hydrolyzing enzyme, lysozyme is there at the tip of that, which help them to infect any cell easily, so that can they digest that. 3 here and 3 here. You can draw like that. So a bacteriophage has a head and it has a 3 regions in it. 2 regions. One is head and one is it has a so this is a head region. Then this is a collar. Then this is the tail fiber. Okay, then this is a tail plate, hexagonal tail plate. So a bacteriophage means a virus which infects the bacteria is called as bacteriophage, and this is a sheath. I left that. Okay, so now it's complete. So a structure of bacteria, it includes 2 regions mainly, head and there is a tail fiber. Okay, so what is the bacteriophage? The virus which infect the bacteria is called as bacteriophage, and this bacteriophage structure, it consists of a tail fiber as well as a head region. Okay, it looks like a tadpole, right? So here head is hexagonal, so you can know that, head is hexagonal having the 6 sides. Head is hexagonal and it is encloses this head region is consists of a protein coat, and it is composed of subunits called as capsomeres, and this protein coat surrounds the surrounds the long double-stranded DNA. So this is this is consist of capsomeres in it, and here remember in bacteriophage it has a long double-stranded DNA, whereas here it has a RNA. So don't forget to mention that. So we have understood animal virus single-stranded RNA, and animal virus single-stranded RNA or double-stranded DNA. You know about the DNA structure you will study in next classes and all. But usually a DNA means hereditary units, right? The DNA means nucleic acids, deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acids. They can exist in either in single-stranded or double-stranded. So usually in plant virus, they exist only in single-stranded form, whereas in plant virus, they will exist both in single-stranded DNA, single-stranded RNA and double-stranded DNA. In tobacco mosaic virus, it is RNA, and in bacteriophage, it has double-stranded DNA. So, the structure of bacteriophage, it has a head and tail, and head is a hexagonal, and it consists of capsomeres. Below there is a collar, and below that collar sheaths are there, and there is a hexagonal plate is there, to which 6 tail fibers are attached, and that is they having a tail pin has this at the tip they have a hydrolyzing enzymes. So this is with regard to the bacteriophage. So it has a fiber consist of hexagonal plate and tip is having the enzyme called as lysozyme. Then just want to give another general information about this bacteriophage, that bacteriophage helps in cleaning the river Ganga. The river Ganga is getting cleaned because of this bacteriophage also. So not only they have harmful aspect, they also have a useful nature also. So the river Ganga is getting cleaned by this bacteriophage. Now let us discuss some of the diseases caused by these viruses. So what are the diseases caused by the viruses? So anyhow, if you know already you know that viruses causes many diseases. At present we have that situation of corona, that also caused by a virus. So virus is causes diseases like cold, fever, then viral fever also there, then some of the influenza, meningitis, AIDS which cannot be cured. Then also it causes some of the diseases in plants which gives a symptom. So what are the symptoms of viral disease in plants? Like leaf curling, vein clearing, dwarf, stunted growth, all those are the symptoms of viral diseases in plants. Okay, mosaic formation, all those. Then also some of the diseases which are in that AIDS and herpes. These two diseases are sexually transmitted diseases which caused by a virus. And about the other diseases and all you will study in your second PUC about some of the other viral diseases. So this is about the virus and bacteriophage. So let me move on to the next. It is what's remaining, viroids, then prions. So lichens already I told you, just I will add one more portion to that, so that I will take the viroids and prions in the next video. So lichens, I told you it is a symbiotic association between algae and fungi, where algae prepares the food for fungi, whereas fungi provides shelter, food, nutrients to the algae. So both have a symbiotic association in which both are mutually benefited. Here fungi, it absorbs water and minerals. So since it absorbs water, minerals from the atmosphere, they are very sensitive to the any pollution. So that's why lichens are considered as a natural pollution indicators. Lichens are very good pollution indicators. They are very sensitive to the sulfur dioxide present in the atmosphere. So because since they are absorbing water and minerals from the atmosphere, they are sensitive to the sulfur dioxide. They are sensitive to the sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere. So lichen, how it is association is a symbiotic. Algae and fungi. What algae prepares and gives for fungi? Algae prepares and gives the food for fungi because they are autotrophic. Fungi absorbs water, minerals from the atmosphere and gives to the algae. This is what the symbiotic association. And here algal partner is called as phycobiont, whereas fungal partner is called as mycobiont. So viroids, then prions, I'll be doing the coming video. And next, I'll just revise what we have learnt in this session. We have understood about the virus, about the tobacco mosaic virus and bacteriophage. Structure of tobacco mosaic virus, it consists of a nucleic acid and nucleic acid is enclosed by a protein coat called as capsid, and each units are called as capsomeres. So like that many 200 like units will be there which surrounds this nucleic acid. This in the TMV, nucleic acid is made up of single-stranded RNA. In bacteriophage, it is a virus which infects bacteria, has a head and tail fiber in it. Head has encloses the double-stranded DNA in it, and it has a collar below which sheaths are there, and this has a tail plate which ends with the hydrolyzing enzymes. And both are this virus, bacteriophage, all are infectious, causing variety of diseases in plants as well as animals. Okay, and don't think that these are microscopic, just can be seen with our eyes. They all are highly magnified views, images of